We've had a fantastic question this week with Ask Uppy, and I know it's going to resonate with probably most people out there. So tune in because I think you're going to find this very helpful. So the question was, well, first of all, the person said that they had a really difficult year last year, and while things are on the up this year, they're still feeling a little bit sad, a little bit unhappy, a little bit overwhelmed. And so they don't want to go back into a really bad place. So their question was, how can I deal with stress better? How can I deal with events better? And they were looking for some tips. Well, I can give you lots and lots of tips, but I'm going to keep it really simple today. So the first thing that I really want you to know is that our brain's number one priority is always to keep us safe. So everything we think, everything we do, it is all geared for our safety. Yes, even eating a whole block of chocolate or drinking that whole bottle of wine is in fact a strategy employed by your brain to keep you safe. So last year, and indeed still this year with all the pandemic that's going on, we have been feeling consistently unsafe, right? I mean, apart from the fact that our physical safety has been called into question a lot, and we have had to protect that, there's just been so much uncertainty. So our brain doesn't know the difference between real and perceived. So while there is the physical threat to our health, there's always also the perceived threat. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when we're going to see people again. We don't know what's going to happen with our business, with our jobs. So all these perceived things, all these thoughts are still triggering the same response in our brains because it wants to keep us safe. So it's triggering fight or flight mode. Now, when we're constantly in fight or flight mode, that's when we slowly go downhill, essentially, because there's all these things going on in our bodies, all these chemicals being released, all these hormones, all these processes happening that aren't actually being utilized because we're not fighting or running away. We are mostly just stressing and thinking and worrying about things. So what that means is our body starts to function suboptimally, and our brain, of course. So it means that we can be lower on energy. It means that we can have digestive issues, bloating, hormonal issues. We can get anxiety, depression. We can get sick more often. There's lots of things that can go wrong when we're constantly in fight or flight mode. So because we've been in this state for so long, I know there's a lot of people out there that are feeling low, that aren't feeling tip-top. And this is why, because you've been in fight or flight mode for a really long time. So if we want to manage and overcome that, then we essentially just have to communicate safety to our brains as often as we possibly can. We just got to do something that says, hey brain, it's cool, we're not in danger, chill out, and then you will not go into fight or flight mode. You'll stay in what we call rest and digest mode, which is our parasympathetic nervous system, and then your body will calm the hell down and it will operate as it should. So what are some ways that you can do that? My best way that I want to share with you today is to find or remember what are the things that make you happy and that you're passionate about. Now, I know you might think, Laura, this sounds really simple. Newsflash, it is really simple, but the key is in consistency. So if you do things that make you happy, that make you calm, that make you content, that make you laugh consistently, that's constantly going to your brain, hey, we're cool, there's no danger present. Because if there was, you wouldn't be any of those things. You would be scared, you'd be freaked out, you'd be running away. You would need that anxiety so that you can push all of those hormones and those chemical processes around your body. So get a big piece of paper and just brain dump. What makes me happy? What am I passionate about? Fill it up with as many things as you can, and then schedule some of those things throughout your day. I call them a little bit of a Control-Alt-Delete for your brain as well, because you're stepping back, which then means you can get momentum to go forward. So when you're communicating safety to your brain and you're not in fight or flight mode, it means you are in your logical brain rather than your emotional brain, which is where you can remain logical, you can take proactive action, you can have perspective on situations. So when a stress does come along, when you go to an event and it's stressful, it means that you're able to deal with it much more easily because you're not in this freak out, fight, run, freeze mode. So to reiterate, brain dump all the things that make you happy, all the things that make you feel content and that you're passionate about. Simple is good, by the way. So watching puppy videos on YouTube, rocking out to 90s music, painting, drawing, watching a comedy clip on TV, talking to a friend, going for a walk, breathing, meditating, doing funny puzzles. Like, all these things are appropriate if they make you feel good. So remember, the key is in consistency. So slow and steady wins the race. So do as many of these things as you can throughout your day, and you'll start to build up a bank of calm because your brain knows that you're safe. And as I said, you're able to deal with whatever is thrown your way much more efficiently. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know any other questions that you've got. Come and ask Uppy. I will do a video, I'll do an article. Everything is anonymous. We're here to help, to make your lives easier and to brighten them up a little bit. So I'll see you soon.